board's decision today, far more than the 50-plus who attended the town plan that we held in Mendocino a few weeks ago. Most of these people who attended that meeting don't agree with Mr. Ayer's figures and facts and charts. Many of us are wondering why and how our tax dollars are being spent for a review team to research one very small piece of our town plan in order to pass an amendment for the benefit of 2 people today. When the town plan is reviewed in its entirety, and if there are in fact 4 permits available, then those permits should be distributed amongst the people who would apply for them and go through a process of application for the permits. Jed and Noah are not residents of the town of Mendocino. Noah lives in Albion, and Jed with his wife and family in San Francisco. Jed is not even a resident of Mendocino County. In addition, all their properties in Mendocino are currently on the real estate market for sale. This makes me wonder what motivates their desire for these permits. He said that he wants to be able to continue to pay his taxes. Well, I guess he's not planning to sell soon or something. If permits are available, they should be given, I believe, to the owners who are going to continue to make their livelihood in Mendocino. One permit for one room rental could make a big difference for people who are living in our community, whose kids are attending our schools, and who are good neighbors, adding to the quality of life in our town. In the process of the community dialogue concerning this matter, it's become known that there is a $1 million real estate deal that is kind of hinging on the decision being made today. That's the only reason that I can see for pushing this through prematurely. And that hardly seems ethical. It could possibly not even be legal. On a personal note, I'm a neighbor of the Max Suites, and I believe their plan calls for using my easement as an egress for their new units. At one point, while they were under construction, I opened my easement for their construction needs. But since July 4th, I've had the easement blocked off for safety reasons, and I'll continue to do it in perpetuity. I've recorded a form with the county stating my intention for non-passage, and I've backed it legally. There was no access for these units from Little Lake Road. My residence is a home for my family, and I intend to protect it and the character of my neighborhood long after the Mac House Suites have sold. Thank you.
Thank you. Susan Smith, followed by Tinley Kent. And if I may, I need to remind the speakers to try and keep to 3 minutes, please.
I'm Sue Smith, 910 Pine Street. Mr. Chairman, supervisors, I noticed that Mr. Ayers appears to be the planner who's updated the Mendocino Town Plan, who's validated the figures, and has now decreed it to be satisfactory. The application before you should be denied. First of all, because Mr. Lynch said so. And secondly, many of our townspeople believe it should be denied. Thirdly, the Superior Court of Mendocino Decision 11-15-99 still stands, denying the use of these same 4 rooms because the town plan has not been and had not been updated. Fourthly, the Coastal Commission denied 9/13/2000 the same application for the same reason. This fact was cited as recently as August 11, 2008 by Ray Hall in a memo largely discrediting the grand jury report on Mendocino while referring to the, quote, general bias of the authors, end quote. Mr. Hall's memo emphasizes, quote, the intent of the Mendocino Town Plan is to reasonably preserve the long-term housing inventory in the town of Mendocino and to recognize the historic residential community. The lack of a town plan update is the irrefutable problem. Mrs. Glassy and her team came to Mendocino Town for the first time November 20th. She was told by careful, reasonable townspeople how wrong the data and assumptions were. It is obvious the update process must take place on the coast under the direction of experienced coastal planners. Please. What took many months and failed can be corrected and moved forward in less than a month and even a week if it's done here on the coast. As the Coastal Act asserts in the section 3006, and we promise, quote, the public has a right to fully participate in decisions affecting coastal planning, end quote, and should have the widest opportunity for public participation. That can only happen in town with townspeople and coastal planners. Thank you for hearing my comments.
Thank you. Tinley Kent, followed by Zoe Batchelor.
Hi, I'm Tinley Kent, and I live in Mendocino. I've been in the area for 35 years. I work as a shopkeeper, and Mendocino needs visitors. And since this is not in the residential or business area, and it's already existing, I support the application.
Thank you, ma'am. Zoe Batchelor, followed by Herman Seidel.
My name is Zoe Batchelor. I was born and raised on the coast, and I live in Albion. I support the McCallum House Suites application. The conversion doesn't require any new construction. It won't impact parking, water or sewer. The infrastructure is all there. The McCallum House is an asset to the community, and I believe their application should be approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Herman Seidel, followed by Aaron Keller.
My name's Herman Seidel, and I'm the general manager of the McCallum House in Mendocino. And I've known Jed and Noah for quite a number of years. We grew up together in Albion, and I just feel like it's my duty to stand up here and refute a couple things that I've heard recently. This application for the additional rooms is not something that's just for the benefit of two people. As someone who signs payroll every week and who's trying to keep almost 100 employees employed at this time in Mendocino, I think these rooms and the revenue that's generated from them, not only for us, but also for the county in the form of bed tax throughout the year, allows me to continue to make payroll, to continue to pay my bills during the slow months that are coming up now in these tough times. You look at something like the Heritage House, which had 66 units that just went under after being open for almost 30 years, and I think you see that it's a very tenuous business that we're in, and you know, being able to maintain a viable business model takes a lot of people, and keeping people employed. And when you have you know, record unemployment in California and nationwide is something that's important to the entire county, to the entire state. And I just feel like, you know, Jed and Noah have given a lot to this community. You know, we do a lot of work for charity in the local community. We have a lot of support.